one of the biggest things I've been getting questions about are from independent contractors, sole proprietors, and people that pay themselves through distributions and maybe don't have, a W-2 or 1099. So obviously the 1099 people, if you're an independent contractor in an office, you get a 1099, you're going to be able to show that as proof of your payroll costs. And then that will be what you multiply by 2.5. Now I've heard a couple, actually I'm not going to, never mind, don't forget I said that. I'll do that on a different video. The other people that have been kind of wondering what about them are the sole proprietors. So these are the ones that a lot of them don't have any staff. They don't take payroll for themselves. They basically just, give themselves a distribution. And depending on what type of corporation they have, they might have like a Schedule C or a K1. And now this is almost everything that I have told you before this has been based on my reading of the bill itself. Some of this I've been reading more of like blogs and other people's takes on it. So this may be, and I've been seeing places where blogs that people are passing around that there are some misinformation, not misinformation, but just like, I think they're interpreting it the wrong way. Like one place said that you could, when you decide your payroll or when you're bringing in things for your payroll costs, that bringing in your rent and utilities and mortgage payments and those types of things will count towards that. I don't think that's the case. I think they're gonna base it 100% off of your payroll costs, not the other. Even though those other things are covered services that you can use the money for, I don't think they're gonna be calculating what you can borrow using that data. So just be careful when you're reading other people's opinions on what the bill says. The best thing to do would be to go and read the bill. It's not fun, but you'll be able to see exactly what it says. So with the sole proprietors, it looks like not only are they going to be able to utilize their like Schedule Cs and the ways that they are able to show the government, hey, this is what I actually made in 2019, or like they probably won't have a Schedule C, for 2020, but they would have it for 2019, potentially 2018. One thing that I would recommend is if you don't have your taxes done yet for 2019 and you're a sole proprietor and you don't have a 1099, you don't have W-2s, you don't have a 941 that shows your payroll expenses, I would try to get those done immediately so that you have that Schedule C or whatever the schedule is that shows, what profit you took from that. So just be prepared to show as much documentation as you can. The more things that are filed with the government, the more they're going to believe it. So that's number one on the calculating your payroll costs. So let's say you were able to use your Schedule C and it showed that you made $100,000 last year. Potentially that could mean that your average monthly would be, let's say you made, or no, you have to do the 100. So let's actually say that you did 96,000. That means your average monthly payroll cost would be 8,000. You'd then be able to borrow 2.5 times that, if I'm understanding this correctly. The other thing is that the unemployment, so a couple of people that have given me some situations, they sound tough. They sound like they're just not, they don't have a lot of, they're not gonna have a lot of good options. So it looks like the unemployment option is being opened up for gig workers, sole proprietors, people that the self-employed that normally unemployment would not be open for. Now this is something that I'm definitely getting from a couple different blogs that I'm reading, but they seem like they know what they're talking about. They were pretty accurate on everything else. So that's a really good opportunity because there's been at least 5 people that I'm like, man, I don't know what your best bet is going to be with this Paycheck Protection Program. So unemployment may be your best bet, especially if you're not really making a ton of money that you could show them. If you're not making any money, then it's going to be, even if your Schedule C shows that you made $0 last year, that 0 times 2.5 is still going to be 0. So your best bet might be to file unemployment, and this bill is adding $600 a week on top of whatever you can get from unemployment in your state. It also extends it. I believe the $600 is for 4 months. So the extra $600 is for like the next 4 months. And then it also extends your normal payroll for 13 weeks beyond whatever your state offers. So sometimes, like some states are like 12 weeks, some states are 28 weeks. It's going to extend the length that you can stay on unemployment. And for 4 months, it's going to add that $600 a week. So if you're in those, like, you know, that first year of practice, you don't really have any income to show, definitely look into that. Like, do some research for the unemployment. I would call your state unemployment on Monday and just find out what your options are. You don't have to do it. There's nothing, you don't have to be embarrassed about going on unemployment, especially during this. And they're just trying to make it to where people that are in situations that maybe don't qualify for this Paycheck Protection Program still are able to, pay their bills and, keep a roof over their head and all that stuff. So that's exciting news for the sole proprietorships on both counts in terms of being able to use maybe your distributions or your Schedule C, as well as having unemployment as an option. So definitely check into that. Keep doing your own research. Like, all I've done since Wednesday night is read stuff, all on the internet, right? I read stuff and then I kind of process it through my brain, and like I've had a lot of questions asked of me. So now when I'm reading things, like I already know 95% of the stuff that's in all these blogs, but now I'm looking for stuff that I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that was in there, and a lot of people have asked me about that. So I'm going to keep digging for you guys. I'm going to keep trying to find these weird, one-off situations. There's really good, the one that I thought was pretty good was with bench.co. So it's just like bench, like you would imagine, .co. So just do bench.co Paycheck Protection Program. And really, if you just Google Paycheck Protection Program at this point, there's so many good resources out there that give you the gist of it. All the stuff that I was telling you on Thursday and Friday, they all seem like they're catching up now. All these like payroll companies and people that this is their actual business have now read it and are sharing this information. I'll keep making videos that are specific to chiropractic and to the questions that I keep getting. But there's a lot of information out there. Be sure that you use this weekend to really learn what your options are so that you can go in like a ball of fire on Monday. Another one that I saw in a Forbes article was US Bank now has a link, and I'll see if I can find it and I'll post it on the Dr. Nick page. But it looks like US Bank has a link to where you can at least like put your name in a queue, and they'll get in touch with you when they know more. I don't think it's actually an application, but they just want people to apply saying, yes, I'm interested in the Paycheck Protection Program. And so it sounds like US Bank is trying to grab a lot of that percentage money that they're going to get. So hopefully more banks start doing that and making it easier. So hopefully that helped.